At this stage of development, we can no longer compete on cost alone. Instead, we must differentiate ourselves by producing high-value solutions for the world. To take our economy forward, this budget will emphasize three key areas: technology and innovation, our enterprise ecosystem, as well as our infrastructure investments amidst resource constraints. First, we will enhance our technology and innovation engines. This is crucial because new ideas, innovation, and technological progress are the drivers of growth. We see this in the US, where the technology sector, powered by Silicon Valley and companies like Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, and Tesla, has helped to propel the country's dynamism and innovation. We don't operate at the same scale as the US, but we can still excel in specific areas of innovation and technology. We have a new generation of local tech companies like Grab, Sea, and Razer, which have established themselves as regional or industry leaders. We are home to the world's top tech companies. They already have substantial activities here and are keen to do more out of Singapore, including in new frontier areas like artificial intelligence or AI and quantum computing. We also have considerable strengths in several industries. We are a key player in semiconductors, supplying more than 10% of the chips and producing 1/5 of semiconductor equipment worldwide. Just as silicon chips fuel the tech industry, DNA chips are unlocking new frontiers in life sciences. These chips enable scientists to sequence DNA, which can be used to diagnose diseases or identify patient risk. They demand high levels of precision engineering to implant millions of DNA strands onto a glass or silicon surface. Singapore alone produces more than 80% of the world's DNA chips. In fact, we are a keynote for the broader life sciences sector. 8 of the world's 10 pharmaceutical companies have manufacturing operations here. We are also a major producer of advanced medical devices, including cardiac implants and hearing aids. Take the example of American medtech company Illumina. It is the global leader in next-generation genetic sequencing instruments and DNA chips. Illumina has a strong footprint in Singapore. We serve at its Asia-Pacific headquarters and host a key R&D and manufacturing site here. This is Illumina's genome sequencer, which is designed and manufactured in Singapore. Engineers across different disciplines work together to design this. When COVID-19 first emerged, it was such a machine that first sequenced the virus. It did so within hours, allowing scientists around the world to start developing drugs and vaccines. Illumina's presence has benefited other Singapore enterprises like Venture Corporation and Sunningdale Tech. Their partnerships with Illumina have helped them to build new innovation capabilities and expand to new areas. To enhance our technology and innovation engines, we have to anchor more high-quality investments. There have been attempts internationally through BEPS 2.0 to ensure that multinational enterprises, or MNEs, pay a minimum level of taxes worldwide, or to tilt the playing field in favor of governments. But in reality, MNEs wield considerable leverage and options. And that is why governments everywhere are still spending significant amounts to attract investments. We cannot afford to outbid the major economies, but we do need to set aside sufficient resources to maximize our competitive strengths. So I will top up the National Productivity Fund by $3 billion. Our R&D efforts are critical in powering our innovation and technology engines. The government has consistently invested about 1% of GDP annually in R&D over the last 20 years. These investments have borne fruit. For example, our biotech ecosystem will not be where it is today without Biopolis, which we built more than 20 years ago. It also served as a platform for biotech talent to gather and share knowledge that then diffused into our education system, which uplifted a new generation of Singaporeans. To sustain this momentum, we must invest to keep our R&D infrastructure at the cutting edge. For our biotech sector, we will refresh our public biosciences and medtech research infrastructure in the greater One North area. This will provide state-of-the-art facilities, promote collaboration within our research community, and enable faster translation of research into commercial solutions. In the semiconductor space, we will develop a new national semiconductor R&D fabrication facility. This will provide industry-grade tools for researchers and industry partners to prototype and test new semiconductor innovations. These developments will cost about $1 billion. We will also support companies that undertake R&D and innovation in partnership with other stakeholders. We have a good suite of schemes today which we will further enhance, and more details are in the annex to the budget. Second, we will strengthen our enterprise ecosystem. Over the years, we have developed a stronger pool of globally competitive startups and enterprises, but there's still more to be done. We want Singapore to be a place where exciting ventures develop and grow into the leading enterprises of the future. We already have a good pipeline of such promising enterprises. For example, AEM Holdings is a Singapore-headquartered provider of semiconductor testing solutions. Its products serve a critical role in the chip production process by helping to detect manufacturing defects or design flaws. AEM today has a global footprint with manufacturing plants and R&D teams across Asia, Europe, and the US. We will provide more support for enterprises to scale up, execute their growth plans, and compete on the global stage. In particular, I will extend our support schemes for internationalization and for mergers and acquisitions. And again, the details are in the annex to the budget. Some ventures are started by global companies or by experienced entrepreneurs. As our investment promotion agency, EDB, has close links with these multinational firms and entrepreneurs. So EDB will launch a global founder program later this year to encourage global founders to anchor and grow more new ventures in Singapore. To succeed, all enterprises must invest in technology to enhance their competitiveness and productivity. Enterprises can adopt off-the-shelf solutions like AI-powered analytics and digital marketing tools. We will continue to encourage the adoption of such solutions through initiatives like the Productivity Solutions Grant and the SMEs Go Digital. Beyond a certain stage, enterprises will need AI solutions which are tailored to their needs and integrated into their business processes and systems. To support this, I will set aside up to $150 million for a new enterprise compute initiative. Under this initiative, eligible enterprises will be partnered with major cloud service providers to access AI tools and computing power, as well as expert consultancy services. This will help enterprises leverage AI more effectively in their transformation journey. Companies also need capital to execute their growth plans. We now have a more vibrant financing ecosystem backed by a growing network of angel investors, venture capitalists, and private equity firms. This is complemented by government investment funds which invest in promising companies alongside commercial partners like 65 Equity Partners and Heliconia Capital. Over the past 5 years, we have set aside over $1.8 billion to support enterprise growth through investment funds. Like other private equity funds, our investments generally span a 3 to 7 year horizon. To help enterprises with longer growth trajectories, we will deploy some of our funds as patient capital with longer investment horizons to ensure that promising companies have the resources they need to thrive. Globally, we have seen the emergence of a private credit market, which offers innovative financing solutions to enterprises. But few of these private credit funds focus on Asia, much less Singapore-based enterprises. So we will introduce a new $1 billion private credit growth fund. This will provide more financing options for high-growth local enterprises, and the Minister for Trade and Industry will share more at the Committee of Supply. As enterprises scale up, they may also list on a stock exchange to access more capital. Larger companies with significant overseas revenues will typically choose to list abroad to be closer to their main consumer markets. We recognize and accept these as commercial decisions. But there has been feedback that the Singapore Stock Exchange is not attractive even for companies that are focused mainly on Singapore and Southeast Asia. And that is why we set up the Equities Market Review Group, chaired by Minister Chee Hong Tat, to strengthen the attractiveness of our stock market to such listings and investments. The review group has developed its first set of measures. They include several tax-related recommendations which have been submitted to MOF just in time for the budget. I accept their recommendations and will introduce tax incentives for Singapore-based companies and fund managers that choose to list in Singapore and grow their economic activities here. I will also introduce a tax incentive for fund managers which invest substantially in Singapore-listed equities to encourage more investment in our capital markets.